Hello everyone, I am Xerix, Lord Sentinel, and welcome back to Century of Economy. When we left off, the castle had been discovered, and factions continued to grow. The Americans looked like early favorites. Now, on to the action. New resource rolls were needed. The dice were rolled with a 6 coming up for duration and a 4 coming up for value. This made lumber and medicine the most valuable resources on the sea. Landing at Voyanui Beach, the Dijon and Duc de Bourgogne load gold and find the hidden trove. La Triomphe and the Amazon sail south, finding the portal that the Le Bleu described. The Wasp turns around and heads for home. At the end of their turn, the French launch Le Favori with the helmsman. Lumber is one of the most valuable resources on the sea, and the Spanish are within easy sailing distance of it. Ships flock to the lagoon for the lumber it produces. The value of food has fallen to 3 gold. Still decent, but not worth devoting large portions of the fleet to gathering. Here, the canoes load food from the shipwreck island. The Spanish end their turn by launching the San Leandro with an explorer at the interior dock of the lagoon. The Leandro is tasked with exploring the inside of the lagoon. An overhead shot of the waters around the castle. The Sea Wind has departed and is heading back to the home island. To the right, the Enterprise and Swift Victory have established a level 1 colony on the Gold Island. The Frontier and Nanainui are inbound, each carrying more gold to upgrade the colony. At Pride Rock, the James Madison has docked and is ready to upgrade the island with a town. American waters. The Mississippi is sailing east with a town and trading port upgrade. The Americans had been depending on the continued value of spices, and will now need to refocus their efforts to islands that produce lumber or medicine. An aerial shot of Pyramid Island, where the Americans, cursed in English, all have a ship docked. The Americans end their turn with a launch, putting the Black Watch with Stephen Decatur, captain, helmsman, musketeer, and oarsman into the water. The English gather more buried chests and bring in Hermione Gold at the end of their turn. The Star of Siam finds 2 chests at the Gold Island west of the pirate home island. Across the sea, the Bonnie Liz finds a chest, while the Dragon looks but fails. An overhead shot of the pirate home island. Gold is piling up on the home island, but the pirates are deciding to be frugal with their gold. The Fiddler's Green notes a strange whirlpool off the coast of Poseidon's Eye. The crew have a hunch about what the whirlpool could lead to, but would need to return home to test their theory. The canoes depart Poseidon's Eye. In the background, more cursed ships arrive at the island, seeking the lumber that it produces. In the north, the Boneyard and Nightmare set a course for the Gold Island the English have been visiting. Their arrival disturbs the English, to say the least. The Vengeance arrives at Triangle Island and uses her explorer to upgrade the island with a town. An action later, the Début de l'Aventure arrives, bearing a trading port upgrade. Like the Vengeance, the Début uses her explorer to upgrade the town to a trading port. In the southeast, the Amazon discovers the shipwreck Pathway Island. The Triumph sails around the island and finds the Spanish. Back at home, the French launch, putting 4 ships into the water. Pharaon with helmsman, Chevalier Fair with helmsman, Saint Denis with Monsieur Morel and helmsman, and L'Eroica with helmsman. The Saint Denis and Eroica are launched to the home island, while the Pharaon and Chevalier are launched at the trading port on Tutorial Island. With the steep fall of metals, the Spanish decide to trade them in for something more valuable. The Monarca docks at the lagoon and exchanges the near worthless metals for finished goods, which have a fixed value of 3. Noting the new arrival and being the best armed ship in the fleet so far, the Prophetess sails up to the Triumph. Words are shouted back and forth, with some understanding between them. Word of the French arrival spreads down the chain of canoes to the Príncipe de Asturias, the ship in charge so far. The Buscador and El Dorado use their hoists to drop off massive amounts of lumber at the home island. The full scope of the lagoon is revealed to the Spanish. The San Leandro docks at the interior island and finds a veritable fortune of silver. She loads some of the silver as a sample to be brought back to the home island. An aerial shot of the lagoon. The Spanish have taken complete control of the island and launched there at the end of their turn. San Cristobal with linked Victor de Alva, helmsman, explorer, and oarsman. El Ángel Dorado, Profeta de la Fortuna with helmsman, La Luz del Sol with helmsman, El San Jose with helmsman, Estrella de Marfil with helmsman, La Luna Creciente with helmsman, and Salt el Tiburon with captain, helmsman, and oarsman. The James Madison upgrades Pride Rock with a town upgrade, securing the Americans' source of lumber. The Cheyenne is tasked with eliminating icebergs in American waters, and the North Sea in general. The Columbia makes land at the Triangle Island and discovers the French trading port. From the south looking north, the Americans have established a strong presence in the central North Sea. They are devoting resources to constructing a colony in the shadow of the castle, and are debating what to do with the castle itself. Most of the canoes return home and unload a sparkly silver 4, which triples in value to 12 gold. Speaking of the colony, the Enterprise and Swift Victory upgraded to level 2. At the end of their turn, the Americans launched the Bonhomme Richard, with linked John Paul Jones, captain, helmsman, firepot specialist, and oarsman. The English spot the Cursed and send their smaller ships into the fog to hide, as a precaution. An overhead shot of the pirate home island. They've accrued a decent amount of gold, and are now willing to spend some. At the end of their turn, they launch, putting several ships into the water. Arabella, Ranger, Duke, Executioner, Coral, and Black Arrow. Despite their proximity to a source of lumber, the Cursed are not raking in the gold. They are, however, slowly acquiring it. To the north, the Boneyard and Nightmare search for buried chests, with some success. They also reassure the English they are only there for the treasure, and will leave once they have it. Finally organizing themselves, the Cursed land the Guishan, Dark Pact, and Sea Monkey at Poseidon's Eye. At the end of their turn, they carry out an experiment and launch 3 sea monsters from Erebor: Gogcloth, Slark Gubbet, and Kalim. As it comes into play, Gogcloth is assigned the Chariot of the Gods UT, which was found earlier by the pirates. French waters. The Triangle Island produces medicine, one of the most valuable resources on the sea at this time. Ships make full sail to the island, leaving home waters nearly empty. Voyanui also produces a valuable resource, and the French are splitting their fleet to try and gather both resources at the same time. At the shipwreck pathway, the Amazon loads food, while the crew and the Triumph speak to the Spanish as best they can. They share a root language which allows for some understanding, but not much more than simple sentences and general ideas. Triangle Island is a hotbed of activity. The Vengeance and the Debut load medicine, with more French ships on the way. The Columbia is trying in vain to get the attention of the French. The San Leandro unloaded her silver onto the lagoon, where it was loaded by the San Jose. Victor de Alva and the Tiburon sail to meet the Triumph. A translator is aboard the Tiburon and allows for clearer communications. As discussions commence between the Triumph and de Alva, the Principe sails closer, still considered to be the flagship of the Spanish Navy, and the crew with the perceived final say-so in most matters. To the left, the San Pedro shares what she knows with the Alquimista. The Alquimista sails northwest, on the word of the San Pedro, and finds Split Island. Elsewhere, the Americans place a town on Flat Top Island, claiming it as their own. Several ships are committed to the colonization effort on the Gold Island. The colony is upgraded to level 3 by a combination of ships. The Spirit docks at the quest fort and pays 5 gold to accept a quest regarding crops. Across the sea, the Mississippi places a town upgrade on the Archway Island, claiming it for the Americans. Taking a plunge through a whirlpool, the Sea Wind emerges unscathed in an unknown corner of the ocean. Continuing their trend, the Americans launch at the end of their turn, putting the Roanoke with the helmsman into the water. The English take the word of the Cursed, for now, and let them continue to search for chests. The Dawn Trader sails to Pyramid Island and loads lumber, while the Benjamin docks at the Gold Island to search for a chest or two and talk some more with the Cursed. An aerial shot of pirate waters. Their new ship sets sail, marking a course to the islands the pirates have found. In the top of the frame, one of the castle's docks can be seen, indicating the closeness of the pirates to the gigantic fortification. However, the pirates are yet unaware of the castle, as a wall of terrain blocks easy access. Kaleem is the fastest of the new monsters and reaches the strange whirlpool easily. It enters and emerges unscathed. Where? Someplace cold and dark. The rest of the monsters are not quite fast enough to reach the whirlpool, but will most certainly reach it on their next turn. And that wraps up this report. The Cursed have made a huge discovery, even if they don't quite know what it is yet. The French and Spanish have made contact. Will it result in conflict or something more friendly? If you want to see what happens next, make sure you're subscribed. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.